Hey.
Hey.
What do we want to start with? Because we watched the Taylor Frankie Paul interview, and then
Mm-hmm.
and we watched I Love Thy
Love
Nader. I
the
said the
nature. Yeah,
Nader sisters, which I
I
could.
know.
We
I'm
watched
all
three and four.
about, okay, I'm all about starting with this podcast because it's the last thing I listened to.
Yeah.
And I really am surprised I liked it so much because, as you know, I'm just not a big fan of that podcast. But this was a good conversation, I felt like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like, especially Taylor hit on, am I supposed to say her full entire name every time I say it?
No, I
Okay.
don't think so. Although
Um,
some celebrities, I can't not say their last name. Like I can't call Sandra Bullock just Sandra. Like I couldn't just call her that. Like,
I love that you say Bullock,
yeah. Well, how
but
do you
I
say
Bullock,
Bullock?
but
Bullock.
I also call her by her whole name. So it's funny that that was
Or
the
Tom Hanks. I just can't say Tom.
same. Yeah. Oh my
But
God, we're
Taylor,
crazy.
you can, yeah. Anyway, so Taylor.
But Taylor, yeah, we can start there because I thought she said some really some things that sparked interest for me.
Yeah, I had a couple things too. There were a couple of quotes and a couple of things she talked about, like when she got real and raw about the whole swinging thing, because she did ask her, like, okay, I'm sure some of these men are gonna have opinions, whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
she talked about how she didn't have the tools at the time. Like that was one of her quotes. And I really like that because I feel like that resonates with me. Like, once you learn tools to help you, it really
Yes.
makes a big difference. So read the self-help books, find a life coach, find a therapist, whatever you want. Find somebody to
Yeah.
give you some extra tools because it's hard when you're in the moment. Like I think she never envisioned it would go as far as it did. And I thought that was interesting. She's like, you kind of like dip your toe in it. And then before you realize you've gone like past the point of no return,
Exactly.
and here
Yeah.
you are. And
And
then just
also,
all of her growth, I think, from that has been interesting because just listening to
yes.
her talk, like, when you watch the seasons of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, it's real messy, it's real chaotic at times, but she really isn't like that. Like I kind of assumed she would be like messy and chaotic, but she wasn't on the podcast. Like you can tell
Not
that
at
she's
all.
put in a lot of time and effort and trying to like become a version of herself that she wants to be.
Yes, that is the perfect way to say it. And I also know, and she talked about the tools with her arrest also,
Mm-hmm.
and how that was like such a painful experience for her. And yeah, I like when people are real and raw like that.
Yeah.
And I also feel like the swinging thing was interesting to me because they would go to the swinging parties. And I actually had some friends in Dayton who did that.
Really?
Yeah, but you know what? It ended up being like it was all fun and games at first, and I did it for years. And then, but got to a point where the woman was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And she was miserable, and he still wanted to do it. And then
Yeah.
she felt she wasn't enough. And if you can hear the train,
I
there's,
can.
yeah, it's not even that close to my house, but some days you can just hear it. And all my
Oh,
windows
okay.
are open right now because I'm not running my AC, as you know. So anyway, sorry if that's a distraction. But um, anyway, she started feeling like, well, shit, I'm not enough. He's not happy with me. He doesn't want just me. And honestly, I can get that. And I can also get it's just to me, you know how we talked about last week how if you didn't have certain experiences in your life, sometimes you go back and you just need to have them and repeat them. Like when I got divorced,
Mhm.
I had a lot of fun, going out and just dating all different people and I don't know, one night stands, whatever. It was really fun. And a lot of people do that in their 20s. And I was in my 30s, well, late 20s, early 30s doing it. But I consciously chose to do it, like, which I'm glad I did it as I was older instead of younger, to be honest, because I did have more
Yeah.
tools and I was like very conscious of my choices and what I wanted to do and what was in
Yeah.
pleasure and what felt aligned. But
Yeah, when you're younger like that, you definitely it's just different. Um, yeah, it's just different. And not in a bad way, like, but sometimes you just don't have like clear direction or, you know,
yeah,
even right now, like I don't always feel like I have clear direction or I'm not sure like if certain things are like lining up with me or whatever. So you have to be very careful how you navigate things. And I think just younger, it's just like, oh, this is all fun and games. And then one day you wake up and it's not innocent anymore. And
right.
like
Well,
lines
and
have
I
been
think
crossed and
it's
can't undo
hard.
it.
It seems like a party to me where I was going with that. It's like for me, the guy that I knew who did it, like, yeah, that might be like cute and fun and games in the beginning, but then it's like you mature and you grow up and you're like, well, I don't need that anymore. I don't want that anymore. I just want to like settle down and be with my husband or wife or whatever. And that's where the woman got to that I know. And
Yeah.
Dan just like still wanted to act like he was 20 years old. Like he couldn't grow the fuck up and
Yeah.
mature. And that wasn't cute. So
No. But
anyway,
like why would you? Why would you as a man if you're like getting your needs met in that way? Because like I don't know, I feel like most men it's like really important to get their needs met in that area. Like why
it's
would you
important for
stop?
me to
Like
get my needs met in that area, girl.
it would be like a drug, you know what I mean? I mean, and that's kind of like what
It
those
is. It is. It
situations
is.
are like. Cause I mean, they're exciting, they're new, it's like a new person, all these exciting things like rush through your body. And
Yes.
that, yeah, it turns into be like a drug
Oh,
almost. And
100%. I think it does that in your brain. Like, just, I think it is a dopamine quick hit,
yeah.
like a drug. But I did like that she was so raw and real. And then, we don't have to go super deep into it, but I did send you a big long rant about the
Oh my gosh.
STDs.
No, I thought that was really interesting. I think you have a couple interesting points, and I was trying to figure out how I wanted to respond and like what my feelings are on it. I don't
Yeah,
know
like
which one you want to go on. Just
maybe
go
I
ahead and
should
get
just
started.
tell people, like, okay, so she said, like, she was taught not to have sex before marriage. And she understands, like, it made her feel guilty about having sex, but she understands, like, because of pregnancy or STDs, why parents would say that or why people would say it. And my thoughts are, I just don't believe that. Like, I don't believe that when you are having connected, aligned, pleasurable sex, that you get STDs. Like, I don't believe in germ theory. So I believe that you can be exposed to a quote unquote germ. We are all the time, all day, and we don't get sick. So, what is the factor that makes us get quote unquote like get sick or get something or get an STD in this case? And so, I just think it's more beneficial to teach your kids have really aligned relationships and like if you feel like you're ready to have sex, like you need to be mature enough to, even if it's like a one night stand, that it's you understand what that is and it's connected and it's
Yeah.
serving both people and that it's like aligned. It's not, I'm doing this out of, it's funny, I was going to say rebellion, and rebellion's a big, like, I love rebellion actually. But what I meant by that is like that I'm just in a bad state of like not rebellion with purpose, but like rebellion, like, and it's fine to rebel, but I think you have to be clean in your own energy and in yourself when you make decisions and do things, right? Um, and like my thing with Jagger hasn't been like to scare him to death about it. It's just been to say, look, like 100% I've talked to him about condoms, but it's like more for the fact of that's how you have authority in terms of and say in terms of like not impregnating someone
Yeah.
because you don't know if they're taking birth control. Do you want a woman on birth control? Like, if if they are taking it, are they doing it the way they should? Are they on an antibiotic? Like, are they lying? Like, you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that goes back to your point about like making sure it's the right choice for you. Because
Yes.
like if you don't know all those things about that person, it might not be the right choice. Like I mean, maybe in the moment, whatever. Everybody can do what you want. Like that's your life, that's your journey, do what you want. But I'm just thinking like in my mind, like if you're questioning the other person, it might not be as connected and meaningful as what you think it is, I guess. I like
Right.
your
Well,
point
and if you're
about
having, but if you're having a one night stand, right? Like you might not know this person, but the way you self contain is you have a condom and you put it on because you don't want to get somebody pregnant. Like I knew I used to use a diaphragm, so I knew I wasn't like that was my birth control. And I was in charge of me not getting pregnant, and I was in charge of me having sex with people that I felt aligned to have sex with in the moment.
yeah. Yeah. I was just saying like because I was just adding to your point of like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
having connected instead of guilting and shaming, which I think is like the culture we grew up in,
Yes.
especially like going to church. It wasn't like it was just like don't do it. Like I don't know that everyone is equipped with like here's a better reason why. And it is like just, you know, you don't want to get pregnant or you don't want to get an STD. Like I never even thought about it that way. Like when you're in school and they teach you about STDs, like I never
Oh,
thought about it as like what you're saying, like guilting somebody into like scaring somebody out of doing something instead of
100%.
explaining why that's there. Like what's the purpose of sex and marriage and all of that. Like it's deeper than that. I mean, it does say in the Bible, you know, you're not supposed to like whatever, have sex before you're married, but I think going deeper into the topic instead of just like the scare tactics, you know, like in Christianity, lots of people are like, if you don't believe in God, you're going to hell. Like you don't scare somebody into believing something. And it's kind of like that in parenting too. Like, get in the car, I'm leaving you. Like there's just certain things that you
Oh.
just do naturally as a scare tactic that you don't think about till afterwards. Like, just get in the car because we need to go. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
and it's
It's
just reframing all of those little
I
things.
love that example.
Okay.
You gave the perfect example. Yeah, it's not it's more empowering to a person to say, even a child, get in the car because we need to leave. And that's the appropriate thing you do when we need to leave. We have
Yeah.
somewhere to be, we have a time to be there, we got to go. Like, then get in or I'm leaving you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is so disempowering. It doesn't teach them anything about navigating life. And
Yes. And then we wonder why they don't have self control when they get older.
right, and it's bullshit because you're not going to drive
Traumatized.
off and leave
I
them.
know. I know. I just think, yeah, there's just so many times in life where like we scare people into something instead of
You're
working
right.
on an explanation and a bigger reason behind it. Like you can truly have the value of wanting to teach your children to wait for
Yes.
sex until marriage. That's fine. You
Yes.
can teach them that value,
Yes.
but go deeper with it. And like I liked how you said that. Go deeper with it. Don't just say this is what we're doing. Have your reasons why. I think that's more
Yes.
powerful if you help your child understand why you feel so strongly about something. Like
And
it's not
empower.
to be mean, it's not to like whatever. It's there's all these reasons
Right.
why that would be beneficial or whatever for somebody.
And empower them to have their own, like at some point they're going to have their own views and belief systems, and that's okay
Mhm.
if they're different than yours, which I think that the Naders do a great job of that in their show.
Yes.
But I do feel like going deeper with it, right? Like, why do you believe it's like with as you get older, and I said this in my rant to you, like as you get older, you probably most of us don't really think other adults should have to wait until they're married to have sex. Most people, even Christians, don't like look at adults who are having sex with each other especially like if they're in a committed
Yes.
relationship,
Mhm.
that's a problem. But they tell kids, this is a sin and you're going to go to hell and like all these things are going to happen to you and whatever. And I think the whole bigger picture is, are you mature enough to handle that kind of relationship and what it means? And if it is just for fun, right? Is this person that you're doing this with also on board with that? And they understand, like, you're probably not going to marry this person. You're probably whatever. Like, you really like them. You have a connection with them. You find them attractive, whatever. But like, the bigger value system of being really clear about why you're making the choices you're making is important.
Yeah.
That's what I try to like instill in Jagger is, okay, like if you go, like he hasn't dated and he's a senior and he's just like, you know, that's just not what he's doing right now. But I'm like, if you go off to college and you start dating and you're dating someone and you want to have sex with them, like, or you're not even dating them, you just meet someone and you want to have sex with them, like that's fine. It's not like wrong, right? You just have to know you're making a clear decision for yourself and you are being responsible about it. And you're not going around getting people pregnant, and it's not something that you're going to feel bad about the next day. And if you do, then you just resolve that in yourself,
Mhm.
shift your behavior.
Yeah. No, I think that's yeah. Yeah, I like how you're explaining that because I think like she was saying, it's taught very surface level. There's no like real deep explanations behind it. So you're just in fear of it versus like understanding what it's really meant for.
Yeah, and there is like you can have such a deep connection with someone when you connect physically, right? Like even one night stands. I've had like such deeply connected one night stands. And that it can be beautiful. It's not necessarily like this bad thing that people.
Yeah, and that's in alignment with you and what you feel for sure.
Exactly.
Because other people, it just might not work for them.
Oh,
You know
100%.
what I
Like,
mean? Like, I don't know
yeah.
that I personally could because I'm an attachment person. So I'm like instantly attached. Maybe I could if I'm like 80. I probably could at 80 because I'll be wise and mature by then. But
Your husband like
I,
passes and you're still around,
right,
you're like,
yeah.
I'm doing it.
Let's see what this is about. Amanda said it's great. We'll try it once and see what happens. But
Well,
I just think,
perfect.
yeah, I think you just need to truly look inside yourself and decide what the best course of action and know yourself. Like, what's the
Yes.
best course of action for you? Like, are you going to be able to understand that that's a one time thing? And if not, if you're afraid that, or if you have any inclination, I shouldn't say afraid, if you have any inclination in your body that you just might not like it the next day, or you just might not, whatever, just think about it. Like, you just need to look inside yourself
Mhm.
and think about what's the best choice for you.
Yeah, and you know what? You may look at that and go, I want to do it anyway, and you do it, and then the next day you're like, fuck, I wish I hadn't done that. Then that's
Yeah.
good information.
And
You
that's
don't,
what you just said. Resolve it within yourself. This is
yeah,
not
you
for,
don't, right. You don't have to sit around and feel guilty about it. You tried
yeah.
something new and you
Mhm.
didn't like it. And it doesn't have to be like this whole big thing. I personally believe when you do feel that guilt and that shame, and then you go through that whole thing, that's when you get sick. That's when you open yourself up if you don't resolve it, if you don't address
Yeah.
it and look at it. But looking at it, you let it move through you and you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a hard concept for people to learn too, because so many people just carry around the weight of all of these things
Yeah.
instead of resolving it and moving forward. Okay, this is a decision I made at the time with the information I had.
Yeah.
Didn't work out, wasn't fun, didn't love it, and from here on out, this is how I'm going to move. This is gonna be what I do and how I live. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna try because I mean I'm sure people slip up all the time. Like, I'm not gonna eat sweets for a week. Okay, all right. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
It's
You
the
just
exact
need to
same
slip
thing.
up.
It's like nobody talks about, I've had this conversation before with my mom, like
Yeah, I'm
how,
interested to hear her perspective.
well, how in Christianity, so my parents have really like over the years just loosened up a lot about, they're like they see different perspectives that they didn't before, and some of that probably is having a wild child daughter like me, but I talk about everything with them, like I think it's important. And we've talked before about how, like, in Christianity, people can, and this isn't me being rude, but I'm just being blunt right now. People can walk around church fat and unhealthy and eating a bunch of shit and being in gluttony all the time. And nobody is preaching they're going to hell for that. And like back where I'm from, that's especially like a large majority of the population. Nobody's preaching at those people that that's wrong. But if you come in and you're like someone who's having sex before marriage, then that's going to be like, not at their church that they're in now, but I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
growing up.
Hmm.
And that's going to be preached on your phone. It's like, well, they're both wrong according to the Bible. Like,
Yes, literally, that's what we just read. It doesn't matter if you a sin is a sin is a sin. Like it repeats that theme over and over again. Like,
yeah. And I liked how how Taylor said on the podcast, like, yeah, like, because she is a practicing Mormon. I did get that out of the podcast because we last week were like, we don't know if she is or not. She is
yeah.
Mormon. But she's like, and Mormons do like drink and do this and do that sometimes, like some of us do, and have a sip of coffee. And it's like, I'm no worse than someone else who doesn't do that because they do other things. Everyone does stuff.
Yes.
And I think, like,
We
you
definitely pick and choose like, oh, this one's worse than this one or whatever.
know,
Like we definitely pick and choose like
and I don't believe
the
in
ones we
sin.
focus on.
Like, I don't believe in that framework.
So like what's your belief then? Like what do you like for murder or whatever? Like what do you
Well, I obviously think that's wrong and not aligned, but it's not because this external authority of like God or the Bible says, if you do that, you're going to hell, you will be punished, like you will go burn. It is no. Well, first of all, maybe there's a reason I killed somebody, like that was valid, right? Like they were trying to kill me or whatever. Like, I don't think it's wrong in those instances. But let's just say that I was like a serial killer that just killed somebody because I felt like it or whatever.
Okay, keep going.
I watched Dexter, so this is top of mind.
Okay, okay.
But I feel like that it's obviously wrong, but I'm creating my own hell on earth. Like, I am so fucked up to do that to begin with, right? But like, what am I not address? It's not like nothing's going to happen to me in terms of like burning in hell because I killed somebody. Like, I don't believe that. I believe we create heaven and hell on earth. I believe in reincarnation. So
Okay, it's making more sense now. I'm like, hold on, land the plane, right and wrong. Like, hold
you
on.
might need
Okay.
to go into like, okay,
So
let's
they'll
just
be
say,
reincarnated as like something awful.
well, I believe that every lifetime you have, you're learning life lessons to develop your soul. And so, like, if you were like a mass murderer in one life, then like in another life, it's going to come back to you to have to resolve that karma.
Okay, so do we reincarnate to humans every time? Like you're just another human?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, I just was curious if you had like what your belief was on that.
Yeah, I don't know the answer. My Papa Morgan asked me that before he passed because we had like a really great conversation about this stuff. And I just said to him, and I still feel this way. And he's the first one that really made me think about it, to be honest. Like, no one really asked me that much before then. And um, how great would it be to like be a tree and just like you
Yeah.
have deep roots, and maybe like you're a really old tree and you just watch everything happening and you see all the cycles and it all just comes and goes and you
I
stand
want to be a
on it.
cartoon character is what I want to be. Like I'll watch cartoons. I'm like, how great is that? Like they're never sick. They're always happy. They have a good time.
A cat. Jagger and I were yesterday were saying like to be Felix, to be a cat. Like our cat
Yeah.
is just so spoiled.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, I don't know the answer, and I'm okay saying I don't know like answers to things,
Yeah. I mean, nobody knows. Nobody, I mean, until you go through it, like you don't like until you actually die, you won't know. Like
Yeah, but I do
nobody
like,
knows.
and I have gone into my past lives and I know things about that I've lived before that like I have done that multiple times. And at the same time, I'm open to the idea that I'm totally making that up. But either way, it serves me
I
because,
no, I love this. This is like the Taylor interview because she was just really honest. Like she was just like, I don't know, whatever. Like
yeah.
maybe no.
But it serves me either
I
way
love
because
that.
even if I made the story up, like when I was in my meditation and it didn't really happen, it still resolved the thing in me that I felt like I needed to release or move through my body
Yeah.
or let go. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Hmm.
So purpose served. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And
just really fascinating to
and
listen to.
I'm living in alignment with myself and my belief systems and higher power and spirit and source energy. So like to me that isn't any different than people in Christianity saying that they're living in alignment with their belief systems, or Mormons saying they're living in alignment with theirs. And I think there's a lot more similarity than difference in everyone's belief systems.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't really done like a lot of religion research. I think we did that in what, like sixth grade or something. We talked about world
Oh,
religions or whatever,
okay.
but it's been a minute. Um, but yeah, I find all of it interesting, just different people's perspectives and stuff. Because she did say she was interested in like obviously maybe somebody being a Christian, but she was open to like whatever. Like they don't have to be Mormon or any of that, which I think it's I don't know. I think being open-minded and like learning and talking to other people is probably like the best you can do because like so for example, I am a Christian. I probably will try and teach my children to like wait until marriage. I mean, if they don't, it is what it is. But by talking to you and talking about going, deeper into the meanings of it, it's like, oh yeah, that really sparks something in me. Like, okay,
Okay.
let's get deeper in why we believe what we believe. Like, why do we think this is the right choice to make, or whatever the case may be?
Right. And then at some point you have to like recognize they're becoming adults and they get to choose. They get to decide their own
Mhm.
belief systems. And
And I
what?
think that's teaching them that you love them no matter
That's
what.
what I was
You
ready
can
to say.
you can see that in Taylor. Like, I mean, she even talked about like, yeah, we like I fight with my family, we argue, whatever, but like we're still family at the end of the day. Like they
Uh-huh.
definitely taught them, that disagreement is part of life, but like that doesn't mean that you don't love each other or get
Yeah.
along or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. And society needs a good dose of that in general. The Naders also exemplify that in their family and their show and their
Mhm.
differences and beliefs. I I just think, and I've talked to you about this before, like I don't remember if it was on the podcast or not, but I know we've just talked about it. Like, God, so many people like don't have a capacity to have any other belief system than their own be even just talked about, like not even talked about to them, but just talked about, or
Yeah. Hmm.
to have conversations that are uncomfortable or where people have difference of opinion. Who gives a shit? That's great. Why is it a problem? Like, be more tolerant of someone else thinking differently than you. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Because I think I don't know. How do you feel about like, do you think sometimes people cross the line? Like, okay, this is kind of controversial, but I'm going to bring it up anyways.
But I
So
love it.
I just saw that Jimmy Kimmel has been like canceled because of like what he said about Charlie Kirk. And I've seen
What
other
did he say?
people, I don't know. I couldn't understand. I tried to read the article, but I was like, I'm not really getting, like, he didn't say that, like, yes, murder everyone who, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure why they were upset, but I've seen other people like losing their jobs based on what
Oh,
they said about Charlie Kirk.
yeah.
And that's kind of going along with what we're saying because it's like the tolerance of, he can believe this and I can believe this. But I
Hmm.
think sometimes people are like, oh, well, he got what was coming to him or whatever, like that kind of an
I
attitude.
see.
So
Uh-huh.
how do you feel about like that? Just
Yeah.
curious. I'm
Yeah.
putting you on the spot. If you want to think about it, we can talk about it another day, like whatever. I'm
Well,
just
I'll
curious.
give you my initial response, and then if I next week have more to add, I will.
Yeah.
Because I'm an emotional being, so I like roll things around, and we'll see. But this actually came up, and I did a little story on it because my son came home and said that
Oh yeah.
kid at
Okay.
school said he
You're
deserved
right.
to die,
Yeah.
and he's allowed to say that. I'm all about freedom of speech, and you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Like you just can. And I'm glad we have that in our country because it was almost taken away during COVID when they said you're not allowed to question, you're not allowed to post things, you're not. And I don't believe in that. You can say whatever you want and you can post whatever you want, like it's your account. That's how I feel. Um, and at the same
It
time,
might get you in trouble with the FBI.
yeah. But and at
Well,
the
people
same,
post stupid crap and they go through their face. Anyways, go ahead. I'm done.
yeah, no, I think it's funny, but I do think that you know then if you're going to say that, then open yourself up to a conversation around, okay, let me challenge that viewpoint. Because if you're going to say, and this was my whole thing with this kid at my son's school, and adults are saying this too, he deserved it, he deserved it. Well, okay, but aren't you, if you believe he deserved it, you're telling me basically that you're more left, right? Like, I hate using the word liberal because I don't call them liberals anymore, but you're more on like the Democratic left side. So, um, then your belief system is to be tolerant and have all of this diversity. And well, his view is diversity. It is a diversity of thought from your view. So
Yeah.
then you're not acting in integrity or in alignment with your own values and belief systems if you say someone should be silenced or be shut up for sharing or killed for sharing their belief system. So
Yeah,
like,
definitely not different.
yeah, you're not liberal because liberal means liberal. Be liberal with people, be liberal with thoughts, ideas. So I think the problem is when people feel they start feeling like their rights are going to be taken away, they get into this fight mode, right? Like
Hmm.
I'm gonna fight for my rights. You're trying to take my rights away. Whereas those same people say they believe in the democratic system. So then you don't have to shoot people and kill people or say you wish people dead. You can just say, well, what is my avenue of empowerment around this? Right? You have the right to assembly. You have the right to peaceful assembly. You have the right to go vote. You have take do what is empowered aligned action.
Hmm.
That's how I feel about it. I don't have a problem if people want to say that kind of stupid shit, but then I'm gonna don't act surprised when people call you out on it because it's not what you say you believe.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree with everything you just said. I just found that, yeah, it goes along with what we were just talking about, like being tolerant of others and stuff. And I mean, yeah, it's all, I think it's a hard thing to navigate. Like, I don't think Jimmy Kimmel should be canceled
Mhm.
because I agree with like the fact that, we want people to tolerate our views, so we
Right.
need to tolerate their views. And like we live in a world of cancel culture, like,
Oh,
with the whole Cracker Barrel thing, like, let's get rid of the old logo, let's move forward. And then they realize like no, people actually like that. Like that's why they go to Cracker Barrels because of like the country
that's
feel.
the whole fucking point
Like
of Cracker Barrel.
yeah, that's the staple there. So, don't get rid of the old guy and make it like a boring logo. Like people don't want that. Like, I don't know.
And
I
it's
think
not, and
we just need to
canceling
stop canceling
people,
everything.
yeah, it's just such BS. Like, I'll give the example. Chris Brown has amazing music, right? And he beat the shit out of Rihanna, and that was horrible.
Yeah.
And also, like, you can still know, like, that's wrong, and he can make great music, and you can choose to listen to it or not. But it's not like your personal responsibility to punish him for what he did, right?
Yes.
And so, like, canceling Jimmy Kimmel, it's not, if you're like, oh, fuck this guy, I don't want to listen anymore, don't.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
it doesn't have to be some big vendetta to like cancel him, because it's not your personal responsibility
Yeah.
to do that. And people still listen to Michael Jackson all the time and love him and worship him, even though what's been, and I believe it's probably true, like
Yeah.
said that he did with kids. And it's like, okay, so why is that okay and this isn't? Or
Yeah.
he was
Yeah. It's yeah,
rules.
interesting how people take on a stance about stuff. I don't know. Okay. So back to our back to the original reason why you're listening. The Nader sisters, or did you have anything else about the
No,
interview?
no, we should probably go on. I know we've got
The
a time.
Nader sisters, I really enjoyed this, and I made a couple notes. I'm looking at my kid. I'm
Well,
distracted today too. Let me look at my
I
notes.
do have one thing about the Nader sisters that I think goes into this conversation we were just having.
Yeah.
Mommy, Mama,
And so I'm kind of like
Mommy,
figuring out,
juice.
okay, I'm just going to ask you your opinion, or if you understand it.
Sure.
So the youngest daughter, who is like a lesbian or bisexual, I don't know
Queer.
for sure.
Queer is how she referred to herself.
Okay, well, that's what I'm getting ready to go into. She called herself queer. And, I understand that we have all these, I totally get slang, and I totally get like words are used differently in different times. And I do all that stuff. I get it. I'm up on it. Okay. I'm hip. Even though I'm 46, I get
Yeah, I'm real hip over here.
but no, like, what I can't understand, and I've had conversations actually with people in that community, and some of them actually like are like, oh God, I hate that word. I don't understand why they added that word to the LGBT. Then it became Q and then Q plus. And they're like, I don't understand that. And I've had conversations with a lot of people in the community about it. No one can explain to me what queer even means. They're like, well, it's just anything different. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, everybody's different. Then I'm queer, you're queer, everyone's queer if it's just anything different, because we're all unique and different. So when people use that word, I have a little like, I don't get triggered by it at all. I just have this thing like, I don't get it. I don't get why you are describing your like sexuality or who you are as a person. Or like, then okay, everyone is that. Like, are you sleeping with a man, a woman, or men and women? Like, it's that simple.
It's not though anymore because I just saw somebody post about there's more than two genders, just so you know. And I'm like,
Oh my God, I can't with the gender, like, that is just not
but it's like,
honoring to biology. Like, let's honor who we are as human beings. And
yeah, you either have a penis
okay,
or vagina.
well,
There's no other body parts out there.
No, and I'm going to definitely just say this because you open it up, I'm saying it. I believe if you want to really honor who you are as a person, a whole person, and you want to give a fuck you to the system, then own what your actual gender is. Yes, there are very, very, very small amount of people that are born without sex organs or whatever, I get that. But let's just speak to the majority of the population, which is like probably 99, maybe more than 99% of the people. I don't know that. I haven't looked up the numbers, so nobody like write me about the numbers. It's not that important in this conversation. The majority of the people have a penis or a vagina when they're born. So own that and be like, you know what? I'm a woman. Like if it were me, I'm a woman and I love to dress in ways that society says women like can't dress in. And I love to have sex with this kind of person or this kind of person. And but I'm still a woman. Like I still have a vulva. Like that's the fuck you to the system. Not, well, I guess I'm a boy now. Like, okay, so you just conformed to all the norms that you say that you are against. You're conforming to every one of those norms by now saying and becoming that gender in order to exist in society as you wish to exist. And how do you know what a man or a woman feels like? You only know what that sex is supposed to feel like because your society and culture has told you what you're supposed to feel like. So if you say, well, I just don't feel, if you're a boy and you're like, I just don't feel like a boy. Well, how do you know how a boy feels?
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel
You
like
only know how your
yourself
body feels. Yeah.
in
You
your
don't even know.
body, and
Yeah.
you are a boy because you have a penis, and that's great.
Yeah. We're all just so unique because I think that, like, as a female, like, we all experience our female anatomy differently. Like, we all experience everything differently.
Right.
Like, yeah, and there might be similarities, but it's all different at the end of the day. That's hilarious.
So
Anyways,
anyway, I didn't understand
yes,
the queer thing.
I
Did
like
you?
what you're saying because we are all different. And I'm sure there are times where people who, like for Sarah Jane, I'm sure she doesn't feel as accepted, or maybe at times. And I can understand that, but like I don't always feel as accepted as at times. Like it's
Sure,
not
yeah.
I feel like sometimes people can, I don't know, like make it excessive because it's different, quote unquote different. I don't know. I do like the show though in general. Like I do have fun because they are all just sharing part of their story. So like part of her story is just that she doesn't feel, super accepted. Part of Grace Ann's story is that she doesn't feel super accepted. She says she's, the black sheep and everybody gangs up on her. And then Mary Holland and Brooks don't really seem to have like a chip on their shoulder about anything specific, which I think is probably an older sister thing. I feel like they're more maternal, and then the younger sisters are like, I've been treated this way my whole life. Like, 'cause that's how I am as the younger sister. Um, but I
Well,
do,
I'm the oldest sister, and I have a little bit of that, but not in a chip on my shoulder way. It's more like, okay, like I had all of this responsibility, and and that my parents and I have like healed so much of that, and like
yeah,
just they see me way more clearly now. It was funny
right.
going to the beach with my whole family this summer because I noticed like some of that, like
No, Dad's not leaving.
some of that wanting to creep back in, like, and I'm like, nope, we're not going there. We're not gonna. That is not a pattern I'm going to repeat at this beach. Not happen.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that because I think like our parents just do the best we can. Like this is a Nader theme too. Like as parents and our parents, because now that we're parents, like you just are doing the best you can. And like I did write that down in my notes that like communication is key because like I feel like the Nader sisters do really communicate well and they communicate well with their parents. There are times where I wish they would communicate like a little bit more, like when they were kind of whining about Grace Ann to each other. Like just go talk to her about it. Like why not just say like, hey, blah blah blah, like whatever. instead of saying it behind your back. But just communicating with one another is like super important in order to heal just different things. Like just ask your parents. Like, and maybe some parents aren't reachable. Like my dad always isn't like super reachable, or he doesn't necessarily say it in a way that like makes sense. So I might have to readdress it. But like just communicate with your parents and like talk to them. Like just openly have a conversation. That is just, it's just so important instead of just continuing to sweep things under a rug or whatever. Like if your parents are willing to communicate with you, or anybody for that matter, just like talk to them.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much that people try to just keep quiet about, or they're like, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to upset anyone. I just want to keep everyone happy. Well, like it's not your personal responsibility.
No.
Like with the cancel thing, it's not your personal responsibility to keep everyone else happy. Like
Yeah, and you're not going to.
Right, you're not going to. No, and it's your responsibility to be true to who you are, to be honest, to be unique, to be in integrity with yourself, like to communicate, right? Like
like the whole Brooks thing where she, because I have like a kind of an example in my own life where she like just didn't tell Grace Ann that she wasn't going to be able to come to her party. Like it makes you look like a flake. Like if you're always doing this and you already knew, like you should have just told her, because you like, it's, I don't know, it's not going to help anybody.
It's also like
communicating.
Rude. She was like, well, I didn't want to upset you. I
didn't want you to move. I didn't want you to move your date. Like I thought that was hilarious. And she's like, I'm not moving my date for you. Like, what are you talking about?
Right. That is hilarious. Like, okay, so you think you're like that important? I'm gonna move.
Yeah.
And if she did, that's her choice. Like,
exactly. Like, if she really wanted her sister to be there, because I probably would. Like, if my sister told me, "Hey, I have a work thing going on, like, I'm not gonna be able to make it this day," I'd be like, "Okay, well, what day can you make it? Because like, I love you so much. Like, my party is not gonna be my party if you're not there. Like,
but that's
like is for you to be there."
Right, and that's your choice to do that, and like people want to control everyone else and everyone else's feelings and opinions and decisions and what they say and do, and it's like, fuck that. Like,
no, I totally get it.
It's too much pressure, and secondly, like I'm someone that I don't like to be controlled at all. Like I am like, if you control me, I will buck you. I will buck the system. I mean, that's a lot of big Taurus energy in me, I'm sure. Because I have a lot of Taurus in my chart.
Yeah.
But it's also like I'm a Manjin. Like there's a lot about me that's that kind of energy. And so I don't know. I just think like letting people be who they are, be real and authentic, shine their true light. It's so important. The Naders do a great job, I feel. I will say, I want to know what you think of like, you know, it's cute in some ways because they seem with their parents almost like little girls.
Yeah.
Around parents, how they act. And I think in some ways that's cute. But like, what I think is interesting, and this is just like, I know this partly is how I was raised, is like around their dad, they're, adult women at this point, and they're just like lifting their shirts up, like being
okay.
They're just like lifting their shirts up and being like right in front of their dad, like, and he's like, they're grown and he's grown, and I just can't decide what I think about that.
I would not personally, like, I mean, I've like nursed my children, or like I was pumping, like I would do that with my dad around, but like I'm not just like active. I don't know. I think about it in a couple ways, because like my kids are getting to the age where it's like, okay, like, do we continue to, walk around the house, like, and let them see us, whatever, but it's like a body, you know what I mean? I'm like kind of on the fence. Like,
me too.
I don't think you should just be like running around showing everybody your body, I guess. Like, I don't know, whatever, you can if you want. But I mean, like, I don't know. I think it's a body. Like, I think sometimes we get freaked out about stuff. Like, obviously, I'm not going to go be a nurse anytime soon. Like, that's not my thing. I don't need to see everybody else's bodies. But I also think, like, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that one too. I'm still navigating that myself in my own life. Like,
So I don't have a problem. It's funny because Jagger and I like have always been just, he's more now like I haven't seen him naked in a lot of years, you know, like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
a teen boy. But like,
And I'm sure you never were like, oh,
no, that's the thing. Like we've always
it's just a natural thing that happens.
yes, it was just a natural thing. But like I still often like walk around in my underwear when I'm getting ready, or like if he's
Yeah.
in my room and I'm changing and he sees me, I don't care. I mean, he might be like, oh, sorry, I didn't know you were changing, but I often don't close my door. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Mhm.
not in our, like, we just don't close doors and things.
Yeah. Mhm.
We can't. We do when we want, like, if he's in his room doing something that he wants privacy, or he's gaming and he's loud. Yes, he shuts his door.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like this big secretive thing. Like, oh my god, I'm your mom and I have boobs or something. You know.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I'm also not right in front of him, like, or to him, like lifting my shirt up when I have no bra on.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. They are pretty wild that way. And then they're all like touching each other. And I'm like, if my sister got her nipples pierced, I'm not cleaning those for her. Like, I'm just not.
Oh, yeah,
You
I
know?
would probably do that. Or like I could see like my cousin, one of my cousins and I, we totally would have done that with each other.
Yeah. No, I'm not. But that's just my personality. I don't know.
Right, right, right.
Obviously, it works for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does. I was
It's
just
great.
curious on your thoughts, because I was like, again, I don't have like, I'm not like, oh my God, that's weird, or oh, it's just like,
Yeah.
that's unusual.
Yes. But I also like the carefree aspect
I
of
do
it.
too.
Like, I like to be more carefree instead of like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my, just like freaking out about everything.
Right.
Okay, well, we're kind of at time. I hate to like rush off today because this was a good one and it was fun. Like, there's
It
a lot.
was so fun. If there's any one last thing you want to say it. I know we're like, it was.
What did I have? I think we hit on the communication thing. Oh, I really thought like the power of not responding when they were going back and forth about like how to deal with Gleb. I'm like, just the power of not responding. Like, just don't even give somebody your time. And I have had a hard time with that, but like, it's so much more empowering to just not give somebody my time.
Yeah.
Like, if they don't deserve it. Like, if he's going to be a little cheater running around doing awful things, like, there's just so much power in not responding.
Yeah, and when you can do the I agree with you. And when you can do the not responding without any like rub and fire and like in yourself, because you know how sometimes you cannot respond, but really inside you're seething and you're like wishing you were responding, and you're like,
Yeah.
there's
Mhm.
not from that place, right? And that's not what I hear somebody like, from a place of like, I literally just have nothing to say to this person.
Yeah.
Almost like apathy or something. Just
Yeah.
like,
Like, I am not going to participate in this. Like,
yeah, that's
literally, that's a good response. Like, I'm not participating in this.
that's one of my favorite things. I say that a lot. I
Yeah.
started saying that during the whole COVID stuff. I was like, oh, people would ask me that I'm not participating.
Yeah.
And so it became like, it's one of my favorite things to say. I say it a lot, and I agree with you. It's just when you can have that, like, just I'm not participating attitude.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it's so easy.
Yeah. Like, this is just not what I want to spend my time talking about.
Oh.
Like, I just don't want to talk about it.
And it was taking up like so much of their, like we talked about energy drains last week. It was taking up like such an energy drain, because it's taking up all this time, and like you're like, they were in Mexico.
Yeah.
Just enjoy Mexico. Have fun. like flirt, be on the beach.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the trip. Wouldn't that be so fun? Be like, oh, I'm grumpy and angry. I'm just gonna go fly off and have a vacation for a couple days.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, yeah. Um, but I think that it is fun. I've done that before. It's really fun.
I should try it.
Yeah, you should try it. But yeah, I agree with you. It's like, don't let that take up all this space in your brain and all this energy from your body. Like, just ignore. Like, not even ignore. It's like not even ignoring it. It's just like not responding, like you said.
Yeah. Like, I'm over it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Yeah, I do that a lot anymore. Like, I'm over it. I have nothing to say. We're just gonna gloss over it.
Good.
All right. Well, this was so fun.
Yeah, it was great.
Time. This is a fun one. Okay, so we'll watch some more of that, and we'll see what else we get into.
Yeah, for sure. I'm
Okay.
excited to see what next week brings. This was a good one.
Yeah. Have a good week, everybody.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.